What's going on, y'all? Machiavelli Mills TV. So we're a few days away from celebrating 20 years of trap music, right? The not debut album, but the second studio album from American rapper T.I. Tip Harris, right? T.I. was on the Breakfast Club this morning, and y'all, trap music, one of my favorite albums of all time. Like y'all, I love this album. Words can't describe how much I love it. I remember first hearing Tip on Bone Crusher Never Scared remix, and I'm like, who the hell is that dude? His verse was so memorable. I'm a bankhead. I take your cookies. What? So don't make it a me and you situation. I have your partner down and I see you visitation. Like, hope for the best. But I don't think he gonna make it. Not the way he was shivering and shaking on the pavement. I tell you what, if he make it, call him Grace, because he amazing. Found out these verses weren't the only thing blazing. Like, just when you thought that I was done, I was saving. But what? I said, nah, dude. This dude crazy. He hard. He hard. Then I heard 24s. And then I heard Be Easy. Then Rubber Band Man. I'm like, I gotta get this album. Got the album, y'all. Lost my mind. Lost my mind, man. I always say this. If Tip was from New York, he would arguably get way more respect than he does now. Like, Tip, one of my top 10 rappers of all time. Seriously. Top 2 artists from rappers from the South, in my opinion. Lyrically, like, people think you can have whatever you like. Yeah, that's not Tip. They think them little songs with blurred lines and all that, that's not Tip. Tip is, I'm looking at, like, from the beginning, from the opening track, trap music with Mac Boney. First of all, him and DJ Tone, oh my God. Like, what? Him and DJ Tone, man, with the Be Easy, 24s, Look What I Got, Bezel, trap music, like, it's phenomenal. Their chemistry is something that is magical. It's magical, man. But from the opening track, like trap music, you hear this dude rapping? What? Then I Can't Quit, Doing My Job, produced by Kanye West. Let's Get Away. There was another single with Jazzy Faye. 24s, he was playing around and was rapping. He was rapping on there, but just playing around. Then you got Rubber Band Man, I Still Love You. Like, come on, man. T.I. versus T.I.P. The track. Listen to T.I. versus T.I.P. That whole track, fire. Not the album. He had a song called T.I. versus T.I.P., which would later become an introduction to the actual album he would do later, displaying the alter egos of T.I. versus Tip, right? And so, yeah, man, Tip does not get the credit I think he deserves, man. He was a predecessor of Jeezy and Gucci Mane, right? At a time where, the South was, trying to get a next artist to bubble. They had Goody Mob and Outkast, so on and so forth. But you had a dude rapping in street stuff, drug dealing, trap type music, but was lyrically dope. Like, he wasn't like ABC 123. His shit was like fire. The flows, the delivery, the different cadences he had. Again, the metaphors, like, I don't know. It was special. The songwriting ability. Tip was a star, and you could see it on him from the first time he stepped in front of the screen. You like, nah, this dude's special, and even giving us, coining the term trap music, or the trap music, so on and so forth, right? Coining the term trap music for the rest of the era of Atlanta rappers to come out after him. You know what I mean? I always say too, man, if Tip would have came out with if he would have debuted at the time when Jeezy and Gucci was dropping, I think he would have had way more fanfare. Because to me, I don't know how, and I love Gucci, but Gucci ain't more legendary than Tip to me as far as like rapping wise and album quality. What? Gucci had a lot of fire tracks, but the quality of albums Tip had from trap music, first of all, I'm Serious was a hard album, but during that time, his twang and his Atlanta accent was so heavy. Like, I don't know if it would have been for everybody. This time, the twang was it's still there. But it's toned down. It's a little honed in more, dialed in. Reeled in more. It's not as heavily drowned as the twang is not as heavy on this album. First of all, King of the South. Then he got Tiny doing the background vocals on the King of the South track on trap music. This whole album is just what? From Long Live the Game. Come on, man. Like, it's beautiful. Beautiful. One of the best albums I've ever heard. Again, from production. David Banner did Rubber Band Man. Like I said, Kanye did Doing My Job. You got DJ Toomp on here. It's just, yeah, man, it was a special time in hip hop. Even Kanye did Let Me Tell You Something, right? Yeah, yeah, man, I keep stuttering, but I remember listening to this album and saying, nah, this dude is something special. He not like everybody else. He got a different style, and he's here to stay. From, again, I'm Serious to trap music to urban legend to king to what's the other one? Paper Trail. What fool? Like, man, I promise you, from Paper Trail here, I'm Illy. And then you start off Urban Legend, I'm the King. Like, that opening track, one of the hardest introduction tracks I've heard. I think, yeah, the first track on that Urban Legend was, yeah, The King. What? Like, yeah, his discography is amazing. And as a rapper, I just think he can do all different type of songs. Fighting music, street music, dope dealing music, club music, songs for the women, motivational, uplifting songs he can do. He can do crossover appeals with R&B artists like Justin Timberlake, Robin Thicke, Usher, Rihanna, Chris Brown. He can do those type of hit songs with other people. And yeah, he can give you raw, uncut, street, unfiltered music like he did on trap music. Like this album, y'all, like again, if you had never heard trap music, listen to that. From front to back, you will never be disappointed. A lot of people have never heard Tip rap for real. They only hear the radio songs. Radio Tip ain't really Tip. You know, Tip, listen to how he sounded on Swagger Like Us. He had the best verse on there, hands down to me. It wasn't Wayne, it wasn't Jay, it wasn't Kanye. It was Tip by far to me. You know, and even how he was rapping on Live Your Life with Rihanna. What? He was rapping, man, and it's not just big words to just be saying stuff. Everything he say has a meaning, and it's not just to be rhyming just because you got a thesaurus. He really talking that shit. You know what I mean? And so that's why when people be like, oh, this such and such artist that beat T.I., like T.I. easy killing the verses. I'm telling y'all right now, I hate to tell y'all, he getting a lot of dudes up out of there. Whether they be from the South, whether they be from the East Coast, West Coast, Tip will have a lot of dudes up out of there on the versus battle. Because you go through his discography and you realize how many damn hits he got. Not even counting the features, right? Like My Love with Justin Timberlake. Or, what's the other joint he had? He had a joint with, I'm trying to think. Let me see T.I. Features. But that damn My Love was crazy. My Love. I said the blurred lines or whatever like that. But like, yeah, like, again, Never Scared. You had, even on the King album, when you had songs with UGK, you got Jamie Foxx with Live in the Sky, all this type of stuff. Well, that was Tip's song or whatever. But yeah, man, I just think even, what's the other song? That was, I'm thinking of a whole nother joint. But yeah, man, I just think dude is a really special lyricist. And that trap music album just started everything off. Again, I remember as a young kid listening to this album like, yo, this dude crazy. His shit fire. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, the way he rapping is unique, it's special, and he not bullshitting, he ain't playing, he for real, and he was young. Tip was early 20, 21, 22, 23, rapping that real, raw, uncut, like crazy. His pen was dope. It was special. And you can hear it with certain lines that he says. And you know, even Pharrell co-signed him the down south version of Jay-Z for a reason. You know, so yeah, man. Congratulations for Tip, 20 years. Nearly 20 years. I hope I didn't say 10 at the beginning of the video. Nearly 20 years since trap music dropped. But it is a staple of hip hop, and it is like really probably, bro, one of the most important albums of the last 20 years. Rap albums, for real. Trap music, one of the most important rap albums of the last 20 years, for real. Easily. Machiavelli Mills TV, I'm out. Peace.